Today's a new day. I'm in Athens, Texas. This is my hometown. You gotta love where you live. And for this vlog, I'm gonna do my Athens top 5. So you're coming along with me today to some of my favorite places in Athens, Texas. Check it out. It's actually a little bit chilly outside today in Texas. Who knew, right? I mean, but so just a quick change. Much better. Let's go. So Athens really is a cool place. Pretty small town. Population right around 12,000 people, which is pretty small. One of my favorite things about living in Texas is that the high school sports are awesome and football is king here in Texas. And this is the place where football happens in Athens, Texas. Bruce Field. Check it out. So I'm here with my friend Tony Clay, and she is the
Communications coordinator at Athens ISD.
Communications coordinator. She does an awesome job.
Thank you.
And we're out here at the field. Why don't you tell us about this, because this is a little bit new to Athens, right? The renovation.
The renovation part is Bruce Field is actually historic. We have a historical marker here, but we have a lot of new elements to Bruce Field. Namely, we've got the field house over here behind me, which is pretty incredible. And I always feel like I need to put this in context, Wade. So the field house that we had prior to this one, and this one, by the way, houses girls soccer, boys soccer, football, and the weight room serves girls and boys. And the field house we had here before was just wretched is the word that comes to mind.
Right,
yeah. So this says a lot about how we value our kids, girls and boys sports. And then of course we've got new turf here. And I want to point out that the turf was not part of the bond that we passed, the $59.9 million bond we passed in November of 2015. We had some damage here, and so insurance paid for this.
Yeah.
So that was just circumstances kind of came together, so we got new turf at the same time we had the new field house. You know, this field is something for the community to really be proud of, and so is the gymnasium that's being built over at the high school. It's still in progress. That's another thing that the community will really be able to have as a jewel in the crown. But we also impacted other areas with that bond. We built a beautiful library at Central Athens. We have a new cafeteria that will open right after Christmas at the high school, and my goodness, we needed that badly. New science labs at the high school, new classrooms, new activity centers at 2 of our 3 elementary schools. So we really hit a lot of areas.
Absolutely, absolutely. We care about our kids here and our students, and Athens is a great place to grow up. And this is, you know, a pretty cool place to play high school football, soccer. That's about it.
Band loves it.
Band. Don't forget the music, kids. We don't like getting forgotten. Coming in at a solid number 4 is just the truth about our town, which is this. It's a small town with big city access. I've never lived in a place that was like more central to pretty much anywhere you want to get in Texas. And you may say, what? Wait, I don't, whatever. Okay, let me explain it this way. We don't live in the traffic and the chaos of the greater Dallas-Fort Worth area. However, I'm a huge Rangers fan, and I love to go and watch a Rangers game every now and again. Say you want to get to a Mavs game. Say you want to take, you know, your cute wife to dinner in the city. Well, it's only an hour to get to Dallas. So we can get to the same place that people will travel. You know, you may live in Plano or something like that, like north of Dallas, and you may spend an hour just in traffic trying to get to your job or to wherever, but you could live in Athens and commute to Dallas. Lots of people do it. And I mean, if we were just gonna look like at a Texas map, right? we're just gonna look at a map of Texas. So within 3 hours, about, give or take, within 3 hours, you can pretty much get to most places in Texas, you know, that stuff's happening. If I want to get to Dallas, it's just an hour. If I want to get to Fort Worth, you know, just get through the Metroplex, and then it's like, you know, maybe 2 hours to the Fort Worth area, which is where my grandparents live. Say I want to get to, you know, Waco, which is where I did my graduate school at Baylor. An hour and 45 minutes. Pretty easy drive, beautiful drive through the country, hour 45. Get to Austin, that's gonna take you 3 hours. But here's the beautiful part. I can also get to Houston in 3 hours, which is where my other grandparents live. And so I'm closely located to just about anything. The furthest places that we go on a decent basis, or at least a yearly basis, would be like San Antonio, which comes in at a pretty solid drive. But it's pretty solid drive from just about anywhere in Texas to San Antonio. Abilene, getting out way to West Texas, is a pretty good drive. But I can get to the majority of the big cities within a 3 hour circle of Athens. Pretty cool. Coming in, number 3 for my favorite things in Athens, Texas, is this place right here. This is the town square. This is where everything happens. When we have a parade, when we have something, everything comes through here. This is where the community gathers for stuff together, and it is such a cool thing to be here, especially at Christmas when it's really beautiful. There's local businesses around. There's also the historic Henderson County Courthouse. This is just a wonderful place for families to come and do stuff. By the way, we have the Uncle Fletch Hamburger Festival every year here. We're the home of the hamburger, by the way. Yes, Athens, Texas, home of the hamburger. Look it up. This is just, like I said, one of my favorite places in town because it's beautiful. It's a staple of so many towns in Texas. This is our square. Check it out. Coming in, number 2, Athens, Texas, is the local food. We have some really great places to eat, one of which is my favorite, right here, Railway Cafe. One of my favorite places to eat in town. It's so good, so good. And it's right here off the square, but we have a lot of really awesome places that you can grab food for, like local places, not like chains. And so actually what I'm gonna do here soon for another vlog is gonna do my top 5 favorite local spots to eat in Athens. But coming in at local, number 2, local food. It's good. We've been to some pretty fun places today, and we're at the last one, and it's actually a little bit cloudy, and I'm a little bit sad about that, but we're not gonna let that spoil the fun. This is number 1, my favorite place, my favorite thing about Athens, and it's actually the Athens Lake. So let's go see what we can do on this thing. I'm out here at my favorite place in Athens. This is the lake, and I'm with my buddy Lee Bush. Say hey, Lee.
Hey.
Lee, we always have a good time out here, don't we?
We do.
We love to come out here when the sun's setting and it's kind of cloudy, but that may help. iPhones sometimes work as good as anything. But what do you love about the lake?
It's peaceful, it's beautiful, and it's when you're with good company, it's hard to beat.
How long have you lived in Athens?
Oh, 72 years.
72
Just about all my life.
years.
Yes.
And how long have you lived out on the lake?
Lived on the lake for almost 15 years.
Well, it is
It's a great place
just
to be.
just beautiful. We got to fly the drone. We got to see a little bit. It's always like a little more pretty when there aren't clouds everywhere, and it is a little chilly, but we did get,
Never too cold to be
the
on
Lord
lake.
showed up. It's still beautiful, and it was wonderful. So this is just like, what a great way to end this vlog, which would be just to say, like, Athens is a great place to live. We love living there. It's a peaceful place to live. It's a great place to like have a family, and when you get a sunset like this out on the lake, you can't beat living in Athens, Texas, right, Lee?
That's right. 5 generations of our family have been here.
5 generations. That's so cool. So Lee's a good friend, and he goes to our church. We love just hanging out and coming out on the lake and enjoying some of God's beauty. So that's all for this episode, but there's a lot more coming at you, so don't go like anywhere too fast, okay? Cool. Thanks for joining us. See you on the next one.